In Tears of the Kingdom, you have 3 different melee weapon types that all serve a different purpose and offer 3 different special moves. If you fuse them with all the different elements in the game, you have a much bigger variety of weapons. In total, there are over 100 based weapons, and with fuse, you can easily have 1,000 combinations. Players are going to try out most of them during the playthrough, because the weapon durability is pretty low in this game. To talk about the weapon system in Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, you cannot avoid to discuss its weapon durability settings. Many players think this mechanic is super annoying and complaining about it since Breath of the Wild, but it still finds its way into Tears of the Kingdom. Low weapon durability is not a typical mechanic in other games, but is essential in Tears of the Kingdom. If the weapon doesn't break or is repairable, players are going to stick with one's strongest weapon all time and lose interest in looking for new powerful weapons and parts. As a game that encourages world exploration, that's the necessary sacrifice or choice to make. In Eldenring, you have over 300 weapons that all look unique. Each weapon has its own lore, and some have special attack moves. When mixed with different smithing stone, sorceries, incarnations, grace, and Ash of War, you have just as many combinations as in Tears of the Kingdom. The biggest difference between these 2 games when it comes to weapons is that in Tears of the Kingdom, the game encouraged players to try out every single weapon and combinations. On the contrary, in Eldenring, players are encouraged to heavily invest into just a few playstyles. Players are only going to use a handful of weapons and spell combinations in one playthrough, and they only have limited respec chance and smithing stones. Personally, I favor the weapon system in Eldenring more, although Tears of the Kingdom appears to offer more freedom on weapon to players. They are only limited to one playstyle, which is become the weapon master and utilize whatever is at hand. There's no further development into weapon mastery. Different from Breath of the Wild, in Tears of the Kingdom, the weapons are not having perks, like increased durability or faster charged attacks. Players may prefer to collect these special weapons, however, using your preferred weapon means you are going to drain its durability faster than you would like to, and be forced to use other weapons. Additionally, being able to create your own weapon with fuse is great, but having to fuse every single weapon to make it useful is kind of annoying. On the other hand, in Eldenring, players are free to choose their own combat style. It feels good to develop your own unique build, bond with your weapon, and imagine themselves become the priest of the chaos, a samurai from the mysterious Eastern land, or a blade master with the character created by players themselves. The weapons in this game also propose and lead players toward a certain build and playstyles. For example, some players like to wield a giant weapon, and those weapons usually require strength build. Some other players like the look of shiny and magical weapons, and these weapons could require strength, faith, magic at the same time, which lead players to a very unusual jack-of-all-trades build. Eldenring allows players to dual-wield any weapons, including dual-wielding shield or a pair of two-handed weapons. The player characters would get a special moveset when dual-wielding weapons of a kind, which extends the playability of the weapon system. Eldenring's weapon system encourages players to complete the game multiple times to try out different builds. In Tears of the Kingdom, players have already experimented with all the possible combat styles, and there's nothing left to attract them back to the game. Overall, in weapon department, Tears of the Kingdom's weapon system is very creative and plentiful. There are sacrifices made in order to encourage world exploration, and many players hate it. However, as a game design decision, I don't want to judge too harshly on it, so 9 out of 10. It kind of made weapons in Tears of the Kingdom special. Eldenring's weapon system is the role model for all games, and receiving a 10 out of 10 for its quantity, quality, player guidance, and lore importance. In next video, I'll compare the armor system in Tears of the Kingdom and Eldenring. Thanks for watching, please use the like button if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe to my channel. Your support is what keeps me going.